Hi everyone, welcome to the Step Screenplay Series short film screenplay showcase. Lots of words here. So we're going to get started in about 10 minutes. If you're an audience member, I can ask you to claim your seat. We are a full house, so we want to get an eye of what seats are available for people coming in. So yes, so if you have a seat, claim it. If it's easy, you can put it back. In the meantime, feel free to get a wonderful beverage or food from Bynx. There's a really good drink stand. And then also, restroom is in the back as well. We will have a 10-minute intermission for the show, but it's always good to better point.
This is Valerie, my mother-in-law. Did you start on this end?
I was starting on that end. You're picking up here. I think.
It's not like a joke, it's legit. It's legit. It's legit.
Okay. How'd she get that?
She gets a lot of work. She was in different things with this group.
Okay.
She's pretty busy. She's in Epic Show. Starts in May.
Yeah.
At Universal.
Okay.
So she won't be doing as many little things. And that looks good. What should I get? What's good to eat here, Logan?
Well, I mean, the cheese stuff looks good. Yeah, you order everything. Break a leg.
I saw that camera and I saw you on it. I was like, oh, that camera. Yeah, I was gonna say down a spot. And just smile from time It's really crowded in here. I know it is. I'm like sorry to sit. Is there anybody in the line? Wait, there's 10 people watching. Shit. Are they gonna yell at you? What? Are they gonna yell at me? I don't think so. I was gonna say do the smile though. Are these like the little stoppers? I have no clue. I'm confused on what's going on. Oh, that's your little souvenir.
All right, everyone, welcome. Welcome.
I'll take it. Is that yours?
I can have our audience members take your seats. We're gonna get started.
I don't know. I don't
So,
know if ours would be done before these people leave.
This is,
I think we should leave.
my name is Kimberly DiPersia. I'm the artistic director of All the Line Studio Incubator. And this is our most ambitious show yet. We've been doing Step Screenplay Series for the past, since last September of last year, so a little over a year, but this is the first time we're doing it with short film scripts. So normally we take a feature-length screenplay and we stage it, and it's designed as kind of the next step, right? The next step from writing a piece to seeing it, to getting it produced. Because there's so many steps, and so to get it on stage in front of an audience, getting feedback, having actors play the roles, it really has helped so much writers in their process. And so we have so many different members of our collective. So we have so many actors, writers, and directors, and crew members, and everyone. And there's so many budding writers. So we selected a bunch of scripts. There must have been like 2-3 dozen scripts that were submitted overall. We selected 9. We have so many more to choose from. So we're going to present those 9 tonight. If you look at your program, and there is a thing saying, which 3 are your favorite? There's a QR code.
It's
So
called
you
the
can
Chili Brown.
scan your old phone,
It has
you'll have a little
iced
survey to pick your top
iced
3.
coffee,
So
chai,
keep an eye
and
out,
pumpkin
think about
spice.
what would you like to see as a film? You know, what's kind of your favorite? And I picked 3 because, you know, genre, sometimes you your favorite drama, and then sometimes you your favorite comedy, so it's hard to pick
I don't
one.
want to miss it.
So keep that in mind. I'll give you a reminder as well. We will have a 10-minute intermission after our first part. Yeah, so without a huge thank you to Bynx as well for being here. Perfect. So without further ado, we'll get started with the first stab, written and directed by Jennifer Coate. Fading. Exterior neighborhood night. A quiet neighborhood in the middle of the night. A shadowy figure slinks towards one of the houses. He carefully picks the lock of the front door. It squeaks open as he slips inside. Interior living room night. The killer shuts the door behind him. He's dressed in a carefully curated amalgamation of the classic horror icons, the effect both ridiculous and somehow unsettling. Slowly, he creaks his way towards the stairs. He carefully makes his way up. A step creaks under his foot. He freezes, listening for movement. Fortunately for him, all is quiet. After a moment, he makes his way up to the second floor. Interior upstairs hallway night. There are a couple of rooms upstairs, but only one at the end of the hall has the door shut. The killer peeks his head in the open doors anyway, sees nobody. Finally, he makes his way towards the shut door at the end of the hallway. Cautiously, he opens the door and looks inside. Interior, the girl's bedroom night. The girl is sound asleep in her bed. The killer slips through the door, shutting it behind him as quietly as he can. He pulls out a massive knife and slowly approaches the bed. He raises his knife as the music swells. She rolls over. This is the moment! Still sound asleep, the girl snuggles deeper into the covers. The killer lowers his arm, disappointed. He backs up, opens the door, and shuts it a little louder. Nothing. He sighs and slams the door. She's still knocked out. He groans and leaves the room, angrily slamming the door behind himself. Interior upstairs hallway night. The The killer walks back towards the top of the stairs, then turns to face the girl's shut door. He hypes himself up for a moment, then charges. Interior, the girl's bedroom, night. A loud thud as the killer slams against the door. It doesn't open.
Ow!
The killer opens the door, holding his shoulder in pain. He looks eagerly at the bed. The girl is still knocked out.
Oh.
The killer approaches the bed and shakes the girl. She doesn't respond. He lifts her arm and drops it. Nothing. He slaps her face a little. Nope, she's out cold. The killer groans and stomps out of the room petulantly. The girl is sound asleep still. Slowly, a broom handle comes into frame and pokes her. Once, twice, then repeated little jabs. No reaction. A montage of the killer's attempts to wake the girl up. He tosses a bunch of balls at her. He holds out a large book in front of himself, then drops it. He smacks her with a pillow. She seems to stir and he gets excited. She's only turning over in her sleep. The killer holds the pillow over his face and screams. The montage continues. He crashes cymbals over her head. He plays heavy metal music on his phone or in her ear. He turns the TV on to a hockey game, super loud. Absolutely no response. The killer screams with unintelligible rage and throws a tantrum worthy of the toddler Olympics in his fury. In his fury, he swipes at the contents of the girl's nightstand. Objects go flying, most landing on the still sound asleep girl. The killer flops down onto the floor, defeated. Slowly, he gets on his knees and stares at the somehow still sleeping girl, covered in the contents of her nightstand. Dejected, he puts the items back haphazardly. He stops when he notices one item, a bottle of high-dose sleeping pills. The killer panics. She can't die before he can kill her. He checks her pulse. It's steady. He opens the pill bottle. It's nearly full. The killer sighs in relief. He puts the bottle down and stares at the girl for a moment, thinking. He gets an idea. Filled with resolve, the killer leaves the room. The killer stalks down the hall and back down toward the stairs. Interior kitchen, night. He walks into the kitchen focused. He opens the pantry and grins triumphantly. Interior, the girl's bedroom, night. The killer is sitting in a chair next to the bed, eating freshly made popcorn and watching the game. He cheers alongside with the match.
Goal!
The girl is still sound asleep. Fade to black. An alarm goes off and is silenced. A thud and a loud female scream. Interior, the girl's bedroom, morning. The girl is wide awake and standing over the killer, who fell asleep in the chair. The scream startles the killer and the popcorn goes flying. The girl grabs the broom from earlier and pins the killer to the chair with the handle.
I'm doing this!
What's going on?
This is awkward, but I'm here to kill you.
Oh. Okay. Not sure what I did to deserve that.
Oh, no. Don't worry. It's not about me.
Really? Wait, that makes me feel a little better.
Oh, baby.
I hate to think I did something that bad, you know?
Oh, no. You did it.
So, why do you have to kill me?
It's complicated, okay? So, there's this guy I went to college with, and he's a fucking asshole. We work together now, and you know what? It's better if I show you.
You don't have to.
Cut to interior, the girl's bedroom, moments later. The killer has assembled a makeshift murder plot board. It's hand-drawn on taped-together printer paper, the various stages of the plan dizzyingly connected with red yarn borrowed from the girl's crochet bag in the corner. This was put together in 10 minutes or less with all this spill of a deranged toddler.
Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah! It absolutely does not.
So, since you're Patrick's fiance, you gotta be the first to go. Sorry, Casey.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Something
get it,
personal.
really. There's just one problem. I'm not Casey.
But what about, but the ring!
This?
Yeah!
This was my mother's. She passed away a couple months ago.
Oh, shit. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thanks. Today's her birthday, so I was gonna go scatter her ashes at the beach at sunrise.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, she loved watching the sunrise over the water. She used to drag me up there all the time when I was a kid. It's all she could talk about when she got sick, so I figured it'd be the best way to celebrate her, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Well, now we're proceeding. It's your birthday. You're right. What are you looking for?
It's all good, really.
Appreciate it. So, if you're not Casey, do you know where?
Oh, yeah, she's next door at 1302.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Oh,
I mean, not really.
yeah, no, I know.
Good. So, thanks for not killing me.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah. Good luck with the beach.
Thanks. Good luck with your revenge plot thing. Yeah. Of course.
The killer awkwardly shuffles out the door, shutting it behind him. The girl relaxes, feeling the adrenaline of the morning. She hears her front door shut. She grabs her phone. The screen lights up to show a picture from her engagement shoot with her fiancé, Patrick. There's an unread text from Mom, which reads, "On my way, thanks for getting up early for me, sleepyhead." She opens her phone and hurriedly dials 911.
911, what's your emergency?
My name is Casey Prescott. Someone's trying to break into my neighbor's house.
What's the address?
1302 Holbrook Place.
Police are on their way.
Send an ambulance too.
Is someone injured?
Well,
What the shit? Who the fuck are you, Zorro? You picked the wrong dump sign, motherfucker. Attack! Get you some. Oh, take that, you illegal, Iranian, terrorist, leprechaun. That's red super bomb, motherfucker. Hey, save some of that leprechaun.
Never mind. Cut to black. And now, Picture of Lemon by Doc Anthony Bravo.
Interior bedroom morning. Jeter, 30s male, wakes up next to a calendar with championship games circled in bold. He rubs the sleep from his eyes, determination growing as he collects his gear. After grabbing a piece of fruit, he tosses it into his bag and heads out. Exterior ballpark day. Jeter arrives at the ballpark where he spots his co-captain Ginny, mid-20s, sprinting toward him, urgency written across her face.
Cheater, we have an issue. Calm down, what's going on? We don't have a pitcher for today's game. What? Where's Buck? He's not showing up today. He's not coming, or did he forget? Well, he didn't forget we have a game today. He just, he didn't think we'd make it to the championship game, so we put his holiday for today.
The umpire approaches, cutting through the conversation.
Hey, what's the deal, guys? You have a picture or what?
Listen, I'm just finding out about this
Blue.
Hey, well, I hate to break it to you, but if you don't find a pitcher in the next 5 minutes, you forfeit. We declare the Foxhounds the championship.
Jeter glances over at the Foxhound dugout where Haas, late 20s, is already celebrating their victory.
Hey, this championship is ours. No way they find the pitcher in time.
Tiffany, female mid-20s, joins in with a high five.
Money in the bag.
Jeter sinks into silence, reaching for his fruit, pulls out a lemon, which he thought was an orange.
Oh, great, it's a stinking lemon. What else can go wrong? Baseball gods, if you do exist, regardless of whether you're about the National League or the American League, please deliver me a pitcher. You know how long I've been waiting for this championship game?
Suddenly, a gust of wind sweeps through the dugout, and a mysterious person appears.
Whoa! Who are you?
Name's Angel. As in, Guardian Angel.
Really? Can you pitch?
No, just a ghost. One with the baby.
Oh, damn, I thought you were here to help.
Well, what do you do when life gives you lemons?
Make lemonade.
Close. You make a pitcher.
Oh, lemonade.
Are you thirsty? Good. Let's not talk about lemonade and focus.
Angel waves her hands over the lemon, and a cloud of smoke billows. Roger Lemons, mid-20s, with vibrant green hair, materializes.
I present to you your starting pitcher, Roger Lemons.
What? This is our pitcher?
Yes.
This pitcher's award-winning Roger Lemons?
Use him wisely. He only has 100 pitches.
The team hears Jeter and rushes over to Roger and Jeter.
Hey, Blue! We got a pitcher!
Blue? Oh, he's sleeping behind the plate. That's why he can't call strikes.
Hang on. Wake up.
Good. Play ball.
Let's get
Haas struts over to Jeter's dugout, a cocky grin on his face.
I don't know how you did it, but you're going down.
Yeah, just like a team's OPS. Yeah! Oh, we get a high five too.
Storm Chambers laugh and take the field. The Foxhounds bat at the bottom of the inning. With Haas on the mound, Jeter steps into the batter's box.
You had the chance to pull up and say some dignity. Now I'm Foxhound. What embarrassing.
I really hope you're pitching better than your trash talking, because just like your ERA, your team's gonna find out that us in the batter box, we don't play.
Won't take them long to regret not forfeiting to us.
Haas throws his first pitch. Jeter connects and sends the ball soaring out of the park.
Woo! I told you.
Cut to montage. Roger Lemons strikes out the side, inning after inning, while the Storm Chasers get base hits but fail to score. We reach the top of the ninth with one out, and Roger stands on third. A fly ball is hit to center field, and Roger tags up. There's a play at the plate, and he collides shoulder first with the catcher, falling hard.
Oh, are you okay, Roger?
Yeah, I'm good. But are you really okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, if you can't go on, just let me know. I'll talk to Blue and we'll get an injury replacement.
Then we'll be down a player.
Oh, that's right.
No, I got this. I'm not even at 100 pitches yet.
Are you sure though?
Yes, now give me the ball.
Roger walks out to the mound, rotating his arm to shake off the pain. The first batter hits a single. The second batter also gets a hit. The third batter hits into a double play, leaving a runner on third with two outs as Haas steps up to bat.
All right, Roger. You okay?
Not at all. I have one pitch left before I'm fresh squeezed. What are we going to do if he doesn't put the next pitch in the line?
Listen, Blue's gonna play the hand that Rick does, no matter the odds, okay?
Let me just throw in my best pitch and hope he connects. If he gets a hit, the guy on third will score, and then we'll have to forfeit if we go into extra innings.
It's all good. Give him something up and in, and hope one of us out of the house can catch it.
You sure?
Trust me.
Umpire interrupts their meeting.
Play ball.
Are you ready? I'll be laughing all the way to home plate once I hit this home run.
Roger and Jeter exchange a determined nod. Roger pitches his last throw and a squirt of lemon juice bursts out of his shoulder as he falls. Haas connects with the ball, sending it flying. Jeter sprints after reaching the wall and leaping. The Foxhounds erupt in celebration as Haas rounds the bases. Jeter walks toward his teammates who look deflated.
Hey, Jenny! Catch!
Jenny looks up confused as Jeter reveals he actually caught the ball. The storm chasers rush toward him in jubilation. Haas stops disbelief written across his face.
Fair catch, Haas is out. You are the regional champions.
As the team rushes to congratulate Roger, he turns back into a lemon. The end. Next up is Sushi Date, written by Andrea Howells.
Daddy playing like he was playing games.
The restaurant table set for two in the middle, a white frame door to the right, and a bed to the left, with a nightstand beside it, with a box underneath. Saul and Nadia start the play sitting at the table together. Both are late 20s, early 30s. Nadia begins to play with her hair down, wearing a white sundress. Saul is wearing a hat and has a graphic t-shirt on wearing khaki. Lights focus on the table. Worker's waiter stands beside the table to take their order.
I'll have a salmon nigiri, a rainbow roll, and a sendai roll.
I'm gonna need a minute, actually.
You should try a cucumber roll and a cali roll.
Sure, a cucumber roll and a cali roll.
Waiter nods and walks out to the stage. Nadia smiles widely at Saul. Saul nervously fidgets and chopsticks from the table, dropping them on the floor. Nadia laughs. Saul picks them up, setting them back on the table.
A cucumber roll and a cali roll are so mild and they're super classics. A cucumber roll is literally just rice and cucumbers, and it gives you this great taste of sushi rice. And then a cali roll is so benign, even pregnant women can eat it.
Wow, you really know your sushi.
Nadia freezes at the table with chopsticks in her hand. Saul stands up from the table and walks to center stage. Saul looks back at the table with love and turns towards the audience.
It's been the same order since our first date. Salmon nigiri, rainbow roll, and the Sendai roll. When I asked her out, she said,
Lights focus back on Nadia for a moment as she looks out toward the audience from her chair.
Sure, but only if we can go out for sushi.
Lights fade off Nadia and she resumes her position at the table, frozen in time.
I had never ever been in a Japanese place before. I grew up in rural Iowa. Sushi could have been how your drunk uncle slurred, "Who is she?" for all I knew. I studied that menu for days leading up to our first date. When we got there, well, I failed that test. Everything looked so foreign to me. I never stood a chance. Raw fish, deep fried eel. What circle of hell did I end up in that this was considered good food? I was a meat and potatoes kind of guy, you know? My experience with fish was frozen fish sticks from the supermarket on Fridays during Lent. Nadia, well, you know, she was so patient. She knew just what I would like. We spent that whole day talking and getting to know each other. I found out she dreamed of going to Portugal one day, that she had 2 older brothers, and that she was allergic to fresh strawberries, but not frozen ones. I told her what I do for work, and about the family farm in Iowa, and about my fear of garage door springs. Our conversation was so easy. You know, we camped at that table for 4 hours until they were closing. We didn't get the hint. They started putting up chairs up on the tables, and we stayed another 20 minutes after. And it was back to my place.
In the background, Nadia gets up from the table and walks to the bed and sits down. Waiter re-enters the stage and flips chairs onto the table. Saul walks back to the bed and sits beside Nadia. He takes a bottle of wine from the box under the nightstand and takes a swig out of it, hands it to Nadia, and she does the same.
Okay, so wait. You didn't have your first kiss until you were 22?
You always say it like that.
Nadia leans over and kisses Saul's cheek. Saul looks stunned, and Nadia laughs.
You're never going to have to wait with me.
Oh, so you're always on time.
You have no idea.
Nadia freezes on the bed with the bottle in her hand. Saul gets up from the bed and walks back to center stage.
I really had no idea how mandatory that would be. We stayed up all night drinking and talking. I knew then that I'd marry her one day. But you obviously can't tell someone that on the first date.
Nadia gets up from the bed and sets the bottle of wine down on the restaurant table, then walks behind the door frame.
But I knew right away that there was no way I could ever live without her. Even if it meant I'd be having sushi dates for the rest of my life. I would try all the rolls and all the raw fish if it meant I could see her smiling in the process. The next morning, though.
Saul turns toward the door.
You good in there?
Yeah. Never better.
Saul turns back toward the audience.
Turns out she and Chardonnay did not mix well. More specifically, 3 bottles of Chardonnay and a cheap bottle of whatever they had at the gas station when we went over after we ran out of Chardonnay. My hangover was almost just as bad, but fortunately I have a stomach.
Nadia comes from behind the door with her hair pulled back into a ponytail. She walks back to the bed and collapses on it, exhausted. Saul looks back at the bed and smiles.
Tell me, how can someone be the most beautiful woman after blowing chunks for the better half of the hour? I cooked us breakfast, some greasy eggs and bacon to help with her stomach. And coffee. Oh, she loves her coffee.
Black, like my soul.
She jumped when I asked her how she took hers. And when I asked her if we could have a second date, of course she said,
Lights focus on Nadia, who shoots up from the bed and grins widely.
Sure, but only if we can go out for sushi.
Lights fade off Nadia. Nadia then reaches down into the box under the nightstand and pulls out the shawl and puts it on.
I counter with a movie in some Italian. Man, is Nadia a tough negotiator. I got us a movie out of it. Follow him. But
The waiter re-enters the stage and flips chairs back into the ground. Nadia gets up off the bed and sits at her spot at the table. The waiter stands beside the table with a notepad. Lights spread between Saul and the table.
in the end, we ended up back at Sasuke, sitting at the same table, and just like last time.
Nadia looks to the waiter.
I'll have a salmon nigiri, a rainbow roll, and a sendai roll.
Like clockwork. I'll do the cucumber roll with cali roll.
And some tuna sashimi.
What? Like raw tuna? No, thank you.
Come on, try it. You'll like it.
All right. Fine. I'll try it. A cucumber roll, a cali roll, and some tuna sashimi.
Waiter nods and walks off the stage. Saul plays with his chopsticks again, this time dropping the stick onto his plate, but not the floor. He's improving. Nadia laughs again and freezes in place while grabbing the bottle of wine on the table. She gets up, Saul gets up, and walks to the center of the stage again, lights following him.
Have you ever seen an angel? I have. She came to me in a cute shawl and made me eat raw fish. You know what? I actually kind of liked it. How crazy is that? I mean, I don't know what spell she put me under, but I'm not complaining.
Nadia unfreezes and walks to the bed, sitting on the edge of it.
And then we ended up back at my place. Intertwined till the morning light.
Saul walks to the bed and sits on it, wrapping his arm around Nadia.
But this time, well, we weren't exactly being safe, if you catch my drift. I was really worried for like a whole month. I mean, we had only 2 dates. I know I wanted to be with her forever, but to suggest that'd be too much.
Nadia gets up and walks behind the door.
Without any sort.
Saul looks over to the door.
Houston, we do not have a problem. I told you I'm always on time. You're never gonna have to wait with me. You better call the Pentagon because the Commodores are invading. Yes.
The relief I felt that day was incredible. Oh my God, I managed to convince her the next time we went to go try a different kind of restaurant. We went out for tacos. And after that, we could do any sort of date that we wanted. But at least once a month, we'd have to have our sushi date. If we didn't, I think Nadia would turn me into tuna sashimi. Things were so great. We were dating for like a year and a half. Then, I'll tell you, I've never been more scared than that one day. You know, I was a stupid kid who tried to mess with a bull in my neighbor's backyard when I was 17 and nearly ended up on the wrong side of his horns.
Nadia walks from behind the door to the table and sits down.
That doesn't prepare you at all for asking the most beautiful person to be all yours forever.
Saul walks to the table and sits down nervously. He demonstrates he's now able to use chopsticks without an issue. The waiter comes over to the table to take their order.
I will do a salmon nigiri, a rainbow roll, and a sendai roll. And so tonight, I think you should try some crazy rolls.
What? What's wrong with my cucumber and cali rolls?
Nothing. No, but the flavor explosion roll is deep fried with cream cheese and this like savory sauce. You're gonna love it. Yeah, and the Olympian roll has this like asparagus bite that is so good.
All right then. I'll try the flavor explosion roll and the Olympian roll. And some tuna sashimi.
Yeah.
The waiter writes that down and nods. The waiter leaves the stage. Saul fidgets nervously in his seat and looks over to Nadia, who is smiling at him. Saul takes a big swig from the wine bottle and moves down to his knee in front of Nadia, pulling a box from his pocket.
Nadia, will you marry me?
Yes, of course, Saul!
Nadia and Saul stand up and embrace. Saul puts the ring on her finger.
I have never felt so happy as I did that night. And once again, Nadia was right. Those rolls were delicious. We started planning the wedding, and I was worried about getting all my family out to Baltimore, but Nadia suggested we have it back in my hometown. Her family were travelers, and it would be easier to get them out than get my family to come here. So, thanks of everything.
Saul digs through the box and pulls out a veil. He puts it in her hair, and she takes off the shawl, leaving it on the chair. She straightens the suit coat and helps Saul put it on.
All right, let's go. We're gonna do our wedding.
The two walk hand in hand to center stage, where the waiter from earlier is dressed like a priest.
So we went back to Iowa and tied the knot.
Saul and Nadia stand in front of the priest, and Saul pulls 2 rings from his pocket, handing one to Nadia.
I do.
I do.
Saul and Nadia lean in to kiss. The waiter exits the stage. Nadia walks back to the bed. Saul faces the audience at center stage.
We had a big wedding, and she was the most beautiful angel I could never even have dreamed of. She even got along with my drunk Uncle Bynx. And her brothers got a taste of country moonshine.
Saul walks back to the bed and embraces Nadia. The two collapses on the bed.
Did I get that up?
Yeah. We honeymooned in Portugal and made sure we did everything she wanted. Of course, we did some things I wanted to do too. When we got back home, the very first place she wanted to go was Tonic. And who am I to say no?
Nadia returns to Tasuke, pulls her hair up into a bun, and puts the shawl back on. Saul walks to the table and sits down. The waiter comes to take the order.
I'll do a flavor explosion roll, an Olympian roll, and some tuna sashimi. And Nadia will do the salmon nigiri, a rainbow roll, and a sendai roll.
Well, don't you know me so well?
Well, I hope so by now.
It's gonna be a shame to lose these sushi dates.
What? Finally got tired of salmon?
None of your life. know. But, you know, don't you think it would be nice to start a family? I mean, I can't eat my favorite sushi then, so I have to enjoy it now while it's just the two of us.
Nadia freezes.
Family. My heart stopped in that very moment. A family with Nadia. I had been so afraid of the thought years ago, and here she was suggesting it herself. If I could fly, I'd have been at space at that rate.
Nadia gets up from the table and walks to the bed. She takes out the bottles of vitamins from her box and sets them on the nightstand.
It was so crazy that we were actually going to do this. And Nadia, typical Nadia fashion, immediately started looking up how to make it happen perfect.
Nadia pours vitamins from the bottle into her hand and takes them. She looks at her phone and does quick mental math on her fingers to count dates.
So.
Saul turns toward the bed.
I'm coming.
I hope so.
Saul laughs and turns back to the audience.
You think that all the sex you could ever want and some days ever have would be great. And for a while it was. But, unfortunately.
Nadia gets up from the bed and walks to the bathroom.
Unfortunately, sometimes things are just on time.
Saul knocks on the door. Nadia is crying behind it.
Nadia.
No. I'm fine. I'm okay. It's just 1 month. What do you think about the sushi today? It'd be really great to relax.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'll call Tosuke and get reservations.
Saul takes his phone out of his pocket and walks to the table while minding being on the phone. Nadia follows to the table from behind the door. She looks dejected and immediately grabs for the wine bottle. She freezes in place while Saul looks to the audience from his seat.
It was the first time we were really trying. It was okay that I didn't get so lucky this time. It kept happening. Every month we start with our sushi date. Nadia would wander around the house, seemingly lost and destined. Then she'd be back to that bright and happy Nadia that I loved so much. She'd get excited and would be trying new things. Those vitamins are really sure to help. She read online all of the best positions to try, and let me tell you, some of those were really difficult to try. But she was certain that it would work. You know, if you do a mile of cardio a day, then your heart would be healthy enough to ensure what it takes. It was like a superstition, but she was so sure that one of these times it would work. We both spoke to our doctors and we asked, and they said, "You're young. Sometimes it just takes time." But how much time? Nadia was scared hers was running out. Like clockwork, we moved through the same cycle. Sushi dates, to rolling in the sheets, to getting our hopes up, to that damn door being closed for what feels like hours just to start again. It's killing me. and I don't even know what she's even feeling.
Saul walks to the door frame and knocks.
Hey, are you all right?
Yeah. I'm fine. How does the sushi date sound tonight?
Yeah, of course. The sushi date sounds great. I'll call for reservations.
Saul walks away from the door and pulls out his cell phone. Saul talks on the phone while walking across the stage.
Hi, it's Saul. Yep, same time as usual. Let's do that.
Saul returns to center stage and looks once back at the door. He sighs and looks forward.
I don't know when this is all going to end. Can't bear seeing her so upset. She does everything right. She takes all of the vitamins and supplements. She drinks so much water that even a fish would feel like they're drowning. And she has a calendar down to a T. She tracks her macros to a point that would put a professional bodybuilder to shame. How can you do all the right things and still not succeed?
Nadia walks from behind the door to the table and sits down. She has her hair down and is not wearing her shawl, looking like she did on their first date. Saul sits down across from her. The waiter approaches with no pad.
I'll do the flavor explosion roll, the Olympian roll, with some tuna sashimi. And Nadia will have the salmon nigiri, rainbow roll, and the sundial.
Wait. Hold on. I'd actually like to try something different tonight.
Waiter scratches out what they wrote on their notepad and looks to her for her new order.
I want to get a Kelly roll and a cucumber roll.
Waiter nods and walks away from the table. Saul is staring at Nadia with eyes wide open, and Nadia is beaming at Saul. Saul mouths something at Nadia, and she nods her head. They reach across the table to each other and hold hands. Lights fade out. Now we will have Gin and Tonic written by Sarah Zavala.
Exterior porch. On the porch of a Victorian-style four-story home sits a woman dressed immaculately in all black. The home's white paint has faded, the shutters have all turned gray. To the left of the house is a set of cliffs that break off into the ocean of the Pacific Northwest. The rest of the home is surrounded by a large area of green grass that is gated by a white picket fence. From the right of the house, wrapping around the back, is a large garden filled with herbs and flowers of all kinds. And the woman in black sits quietly taking long, thoughtless drags from a cigarette. Estelle looks remarkably similar to Anne, just as well dressed, but more color.
Go. What? Go home. You're welcome. Yeah. I would love to have a gin and tonic. Thank you. You make the best jeans. Minding their own business, as you should be. Your bitterness is aging you, Annie. Don't call me that. Why the hell are you here, Stella?
I was thirsty.
Huh. You're not funny.
Well, if I was trying to be funny, you would be laughing. But seriously, you look like shit. Are you sleeping?
Like a baby.
Not well.
I'm fine.
Sally called. She said you sent the kids home and that you were a total bitch about it.
They were bothering me.
Assholes. You need them.
Want to be left alone.
No one's gonna do that. They all think that you're some kind of risk, but not me. You're too damn old for it.
I'm 2 years younger than you.
18 months, and that's exactly why I'm not gonna do anything stupid like die of a broken heart.
So then go home.
Breathe. You can't do this for the rest of your life.
It's my time and I can do as I fucking please.
How long has it been?
Oh, 10 weeks, 4 days, 1,700 cigarettes.
I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Oh, you knew my husband was gonna die.
The funeral.
I didn't want to have that stupid thing anyways. Waste of time and money.
I know.
I don't have anyone to take out the trash.
I can do that.
I'd rather you go home. Or
We can open an inn.
what?
I want to open an inn.
Where?
Here.
Oh, no.
Why not?
Because this is my home, because I hate people, because my husband just died. Pick your poison.
So you're just gonna wither away here, a bitter witch, and scare all the neighbors and their pets?
Sounds nice.
Come on, Annie. You can't live like this.
No.
This place is beautiful. And it has more room than you know what to do with. It would be perfect.
You know, I have lived here 1,000 lives in this house. You've been here for what? 5 minutes?
You know, it hasn't been easy for me. You're not the only one grieving. We both need a restart. And I've got Frankie's money to spend.
I don't need a restart for Frankie's money, and I don't want strangers traipsing around my home.
So what? You're just gonna spend the rest of your days here alone in this massive house?
I don't know what I'm going to do. It's only been a few weeks. I'm sorry that Frankie's dead, that you're alone and that you don't have your own kids to go and bother. But I don't want you here. Not now, and especially not until the end of my time.
That's the grief one.
But I get to sit here and smoke my lungs black if I want.
I've had a good life, I can take care of myself, and I don't need anyone else here.
You can't sustain this.
I can do whatever the hell I want. Doesn't it mean anything to you that I need you? Why should it? You're lonely, I get it, but that's not my problem. I can't take care of you too. I'm not asking you to. Yes, you are. You come here and you want to move into my home, turn my life upside down because you've had time to be miserable. But I'm not that far in yet. I don't want to turn your life upside down. I just want my sister to be my friend. We're not friends, Stella. This isn't the goddamn yaya sisterhood. Go home. Fix your own shit on your own. Don't throw it onto my broken ass plate. I'm not asking you to fix anything. Huh? I miss my husband. I know what you're going through. Just let me be here for you. You have visited exactly 4 times in the past 40 years. Now you want to bastardize my home? Just fuck off! You're right! We're not friends! We're sisters. And you know what? I know you need me even though you don't know it yet. You are so dramatic. Listen, if you want to stay, just fucking stay. But why an inn? If you need a hobby, why not take up soap or candles? It's not a hobby. It's building a life. People need people. We need something to look forward to. Look, with an inn, we can be as simple as we want, and we'll just hire you to do all business. I don't know. It's too big of an undertaking. I don't want to work myself into the grave. I want to enjoy my life and my garden without always having somebody in my business. It's phenomenal.
Sally's call is the only thing we're not being on. Send me this call in the house.
You really wrote this.
So what do you think?
I think that my arrogant bastard husband wrote my sister a letter implying I would be a reclusive widow. And I need more than a letter to convince me that this is a good idea. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I don't know.
Okay, well, I think we should do it. Look, we might not be spring chickens, but I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Let's do something amazing. Let's open it in. Let's be bold and brave. Like Grace and Frenchie.
I watch too much television. I mean, us working together is probably a terrible idea.
Let's do it.
You know, we could lose everything. I mean, the renovations alone.
Let's do it.
You're insane.
We're not filthy, stinking rich. Listen, we'll just get one of those intern thingies to be a buffer between us if we need it. These people ran a house of several people for several decades. There is no one more qualified than you. Annie, we can do this. Oh, God.
You better pour me another drink.
Our next script will be Extraordinary by Scott Hahnert. road evening. Alex, a man in his 20s, drives home. A bag of takeout subs rests on an electrical engineering book in the passenger seat. The check engine light glows steadily as he turns on the radio. Struggling to navigate the financial seas with Cash Splash, you can transfer money in a flash. No crash, no sass, just cash. Start splashing your way to financial. And where the good vibes roll. But first, let's dive into today's top story, solar flares, which scientists say will bombard us with high gamma rays tonight. That could mean power outages or, blocked radio waves. Alex shrugs and keeps switching stations, but finds none working. He pulls into the driveway of his house. Exterior driveway evening. He parks, grabs the subs, and heads to the front door. The door light flickers on and off as a chilly breeze rustles the tree branches. Alex reaches the door and knocks twice.
Blast. Thunder.
Alex opens the door and enters. Interior house evening. Alex walks in and waves to Casey, a man in his 20s wearing glasses sitting at a computer. Casey glances at Alex and waves back.
We're still doing that? What do you think we're doing here, man? Selling drugs? Or worse, NFTs?
For now, just fungible subs.
Casey spins around and continues reading the ebook, Stranger Than Fiction. Alex walks into the living room as Devin, a muscular man in his 20s, plays a UFC video game on a big screen TV. Devin makes a fist bump.
Yeah. Let's go. Alex is back. What do you got? What do you got, man?
Alex hands him his sub.
What you asked for, surprising. Your steak and bacon sub.
Awesome, you're the best.
Alex sets the other subs on the table.
Hey, would it be cool if you paid me back tonight? You know, I'm a little tight on cash.
Dude. Yeah, I totally forgot. Hey, babe, can you spot me?
Spot you? Are you working out? Yeah, I'll spot you some motivation.
Devin continues his game. Casey walks to the table and grabs his sub.
Don't worry, I'm keeping tabs. I got this one, man.
He pulls out his phone and opens the Cash Splash app, but it keeps spinning.
No! Crash!
No cash.
Just sex.
Let me go angrily check on the computer.
Casey walks over to the computer while Alex sits down.
No sass.
No crash, just cash.
Casey opens a web page, but a 404 error appears. Casey crosses one finger with another and directs it at Devin and Alex.
You talking parrots crashed the Wi-Fi.
Oh, that was a submission. You should have taken that. Buggy game.
Devin gets booted back to the main menu and loses connection to his game. Riley, an athletic woman in her 20s, dashes into the living room.
I'm trying to run that stupid email. I'm starving.
As she enters, Riley accidentally hits a heavy bookshelf that begins tipping over. Devin rushes over and grabs the bookshelf just before it hits the floor. A few books fall out while he easily lifts the shelf back up. Alex, Devin, and Riley look at each other in confusion.
Okay, what's going on?
Try that again.
Once more, Devin lifts the heavy bookshelf down and back up with ease.
Okay, what is going on? Since when were you this strong?
Devin tests out his arms.
No idea.
A lamp in the room suddenly goes out.
That's funny.
Alex walks to the light switch, flips it off and on as the light turns back on.
Wait, why did my phone turn off?
Riley tries turning on her phone, but it remains unresponsive. She walks over to Alex.
Mind taking a look at this, given your electrical skills and all?
She hands over her phone. As Alex touches the phone, it immediately turns on.
Wow, I know you're smart. Not that smart.
As she takes the phone back, the power dies again. Chills crawl down Alex's spine.
Is this some kind of joke?
Would I ever be into a joke like this?
Guys, solar flares just messing with our electronics.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but this is bizarre.
No, don't you get it? It's kind of superpowers. I mean, I have strength, and Alex got
Battery power?
awesome. Hey, this is a gift, all right? You've always had money issues, all right? We can fix that and get rich. Just think of all the things we can do.
Why don't I have powers then? This isn't fair.
Riley begins practicing kicks and various physical moves.
Casey, notice anything?
Casey makes some gestures and stances, but nothing happens.
We still don't know what any of this means. Yeah, Casey. What's your superpower? Fingernail growth?
Maybe it's foresight into your bubbling future.
His power could be more subtle.
Casey continues making various gestures and stances, each one falling flat.
Foresight. Into your bubbling future. As a matter of fact, it all began with...
Can you stop digging into Casey?
You guys have gotten along for a few months. Yeah, that's plenty of time to get some thick skin. It's just a joke, all right? You always overreact.
That is not true.
Hey guys, I think my power is...
Go take a look, Devin.
Now that is a useful gesture. I'll test my strength out, maybe in your car.
Devin dashes out the front door.
How's it look sideways?
Exterior driveway evening. Casey and Alex run outside to see Devin kneeling, both hands gripping the underside of the car. Devin aligns his body, tenses his grip, and in one motion lifts the car. Then he slowly lowers it.
A generous God decided not to take over your car.
Why would anyone give you powers?
The gods deemed you unworthy. You wouldn't understand.
You know it's called Pandora's box for a reason, right?
Riley runs outside and steps.
Enough!
Fine, I'm leaving.
Devin walks back inside as everyone slowly follows suit. Interior house evening. Devin gathers his wallet and other belongings.
Come on, Riley. Let's get out of here. We don't have to deal with this.
He points at the door with a confident nod. Riley stays motionless.
Riley doesn't have to go anywhere.
Riley takes a few steps towards Devin.
This isn't like you.
This is a suggestion.
Devin steps up close to Riley.
Yeah, just like your dad.
Suddenly, Devin grabs Riley by the neck and slams her against the wall. Riley puts both hands on her arm, attempting to break free.
Whoa, chill out!
Casey and Alex rush to pull Devin back, but Devin easily knocks them down. Riley begins choking while pinned against the wall. Alex gets up and tries to stop Devin again, but gets knocked down once.
Stay out of this!
Casey gets on one knee off the floor and adjusts his glasses as his expression darkens.
Is your power strength or anger?
Devin looks back toward Riley and tightens his grip.
You know you don't have a power. I was going to share mine with you, but you had to be all high and mighty.
Devin loosens his grip.
What's that, Riley?
Eventually!
It hurts. What good is endurance? It should have been speed.
Riley strengthens her grip on Devin's arm.
Endurance! Endurance! Means strength!
Devin lunges for Riley, but she catches his hands, overpowering his grip. Devin winces. Riley drives a punch to his stomach, then sweeps his legs out from under him, knocking him to the ground. An astonished Alex holds a powered cell phone as the dial tone rings. Casey stands up beside him, contemplating deeply. Alex places the phone on the table as it powers off. He grins.
I did that? Yeah, I did that.
Devin, still reeling in pain, struggles to get up off the floor. Flashback, Devin's gym workouts.
Devin. You don't actually have supernatural strength. You just work out, what, 5 times a week at the gym? Particularly those cute deadlifts? You just got strong muscles, man. Solar flare's messing with your senses.
Back to present, Devin finally manages to stand up. He feels an odd sensation from his nose, touches it, and finds blood on his hand.
I don't believe you.
That would reinforce it.
Devin storms out the front door, slamming it behind him.
Are you okay?
I think so.
Maybe take a seat here.
I'm also okay, thanks for asking.
Alex and Casey exchange looks and breathe a sigh of relief.
Actually, I'm feeling better than ever now.
You don't have a single bruise on you.
I wish I could say the same.
Devin just worked out a lot? I vaguely remember that.
That's all fuzzy to me. Also, Devin never gets nosebleeds. You affected him.
Hey, the only thing I affected was his ego. You think there's more to this? All I said was the truth.
You're the only one who hasn't done anything special.
True. But he lives like every day, distinctly.
He's such a jerk. Serves him right for losing his powers.
Yeah.
Alex picks up the dead phone, powering up as he halted.
Wait.
Casey stands and looks at Riley.
He never had powers to begin with.
All right. Silly me. You know, this is a lot for me to take in. I'm gonna go for a run to clear my head.
Riley leisurely walks towards the front door.
Are you trying to avoid
Cloudy mind?
my explanation?
Needs some clearing.
Sorry, but
Flashback, Riley's cardio workouts.
Riley, you don't actually have supernatural endurance. You work out 5 times a week at the gym, particularly planks. You just have great cardio.
Back to present. She feels an odd sensation from her nose, touches it, and finds blood on her hand.
No. Running is my dream.
Blood drips on the floor.
You can't outrun the truth.
Well, then maybe I'll chase the lie.
Riley storms out the front door, slamming it behind her. She begins running down the street. Alex and Casey exchange looks and breathe a sigh of relief. Interior house, evening later. The blood pools on the floor in a dark, empty living room. Alex and Casey rest on opposite sides with lights flickering nearby.
Bravo, Casey, my boy, bravo.
Devin steps out of the shadows.
Case closed by Casey. Must be nice sitting on a throne, knowing everything. I guess intelligence is your power.
Casey stands up as light contrast between them.
Or maybe I've just always been intelligent.
If you can't beat them, wait a minute. With Riley gone, I have what seems to be unstoppable power.
Did you not hear me earlier?
I heard a lot of things, but I told you not to step between us. You're making me do this.
All lights in the house flicker rapidly as Devin taps his fist into his palm.
Now let's see how brave you really are.
Devin takes a few steps towards Casey. Alex steps between them holding a power toaster and its electrified cord.
Brave enough to stand by my friend, you piece of brick.
Since when?
Flashback, exterior schoolyard, day. Teenagers scattered around, many small groups conversing. At an outdoor table, we see young Riley and her friend sitting together. Young Riley diligently works on her homework while her friend nibbles on her lunch. 3 bullies walk up.
What you doing, Riley?
Always getting ahead in school.
Don't bother someone else. I'm busy.
Too busy for us, huh? Heard you ratted us out for skipping class.
Riley and her friend get up from the table. One bully locks eyes with Riley's friend, who begins to back away.
It's your own fault. Besides, others saw it too.
Oh, yeah, well, you're the only one who said anything, so you always offer the trouble. Hand over the bag, and maybe we'll call it even.
The table falls silent. Young Riley slowly pulls out her bag.
Bet you got some nice stuff in there. Come on, let's see it.
Young Riley grits her teeth, starts to hand it over, then sucker punches one bully, kicks another, and runs. The last bully chases after her and grabs her by the arm. A hardcover book strikes the bully's forehead and he collapses. The book drops to the ground. Young Alex appears.
Go, get out of here.
Young Riley turns and starts running again. Cut to the book's title, Stranger Than Fiction, as Riley runs in the background and Alex stands still. Interior house, evening present. Alex locks eyes with Casey, then turns back toward Devin.
Go, get out of here.
Devin rushes toward Alex while Alex swings the cord horizontally. The electrified end zaps Dylan. Devin moves forward again as Alex swings the cord vertically. Devin dodges and throws a long cross to Alex's chest. Alex blocks with the toaster's hot metal side but gets knocked down several feet away. Devin's knuckles burn from the intense heat. Flashback. The bullies catch up to young Alex as young Riley runs. Alex punches one bully and jabs another, who counters with a punch to Alex's chest. The bullies throw punches. Alex struggles to defend himself. Young Riley slows down, stops, and catches her breath. She turns and runs back toward young Alex. Exterior, street present. Riley's running down a quiet neighborhood street. Riley slows down, stops, and catches her breath. She turns and runs back towards the house. Interior house, evening. Devin scans the room. With a swift kick, he knocks over an armchair, revealing Casey crouched behind him. Devin walks toward Casey with a cold glare. Casey tries to leave the room, but Devin blocks his path.
No one left to hide. No one left to stand behind. You know what? What? Did your brain finally catch up to those biceps? I don't need the supernatural to put you down. I'm good with who I am. That's amazing. So you don't need me for anything then. Stop making sense!
Devin wrestles Casey to the floor as all lights go out and furniture falls over. Casey struggles as Devin gets behind him and puts him in a chokehold.
You didn't deserve this! Karma's
Devin pulses an electric shock, falling to the side while Casey falls forward. Casey turns around on the dark floor. Alex emerges, gloves on, gripping electrical wires, still crackling. Flashback, Alex's study habits.
Alex, you are extraordinary. You study 5 times a week at the library, particularly electrical engineering. You got just enough money to get by, but you'll always help with that.
Back to present. Devin, alive and startled, quietly gets up and leaves the house.
Thanks. I'd never leave you hanging.
I appreciate that. But how'd you make this contraction?
I safely
Casey stares down at Alex.
I safely drew extra voltage from another outlet using these jerry-rigged wires.
Alex disconnects from the outlet, causing lights to come back onto the room.
Safely.
Science is magic, simply with rules.
So everyone's pattern is traced back to what they enjoy doing the most. How do your rules explain that?
Rules we don't know yet.
The phone resting on the table lights up on its own.
Hey, the interference is finally fading.
Power restores all lights and electrical devices in the house as the solar flare ends. Exterior driveway heaving. Riley arrives at the front of the house as Devin's leaving. Riley aggressively confronts Devin and shouts at him. Devin meekly talks back and raises his hands defensively. He hesitates, then gets in his car and drives away. Riley watches and breathes a deep sigh of relief.
Whether it's the discipline to study, work out, or just deal with personal problems, we're all powerful in the skills that we work on.
Interior house evening. Casey and Alex give each other a strong hug. Alex walks over to the books scattered on the floor near the bookshelf. Alex's eyes widen and straightens his posture.
Skills, huh?
Casey walks toward the kitchen, shaking his head.
I think I need a break.
He leaves the room. Alex concentrates as he picks up a fallen book. As he grabs it, the book glows brightly with an orange aura.
Casey, I still have my powers.
Casey pours himself a drink in the kitchen.
As do I, my friend, as do I.
Alex turns the book around in his hand.
It's different. Your gift wasn't intelligence, it was judgment. Judgment through removing or enhancing your powers.
Casey holds the drink in his hand.
Ha! Put that down. You're a good friend. That's nothing like that.
Casey downs the drink as Alex drops the book. It lands on the coffee table as Alex paces nervously. It continues glowing in orange aura with the book's title, Stranger Than Fiction. Post-credit, exterior driveway, early morning. Casey stumbles toward his car. He gets in and tries starting. Alex approaches the passenger side, watching him attempt. Riley approaches the driver's side, observing as well. Flashback, Casey drinking that night.
Casey, you don't actually have supernatural driving skills.
You drank 5 glasses in the last hour, particularly vodka. You just have a strong liver.
This has nothing to do with the solar flare.
Back to present. Casey fearfully anticipates an odd sensation from his nose, touches it, but finds nothing. Alex takes the keys as Riley helps walk Casey back toward the house. The front door light flickers on and off as Riley and Casey walk inside. Alex approaches the light, pausing briefly. He touches it as it turns back on, and then walks inside. much. We will now take a 10-minute intermission. Please enjoy yourself.
I like your shirt, sorry. There's the camera.
Are you ready for this? Hey, nobody waits a table like you, buddy. I believe you from the very top. Do I turn this on? Thank you.
everyone, we're gonna get started in just a couple minutes, so, give me your first drink and you want to do that, get something to drink at Bynx, but we'll get started in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, she. So that doesn't help.
No. How's it going? Doing okay? Good.
It was a funny one.
It's such a happy. It's funny because they were going to. I was like, see me get down there. We have a great night, everybody. Drive safe. Great.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to start. You must behave. We give you confession.
We see uniformed children standing outside exterior doors of a Catholic church. Okay, look, we know they look like adults, but what do you expect from a zero-budget production? The children talk amongst themselves. Two nuns stand nearby. Sister James is older with a military bearing. She holds a police baton. Sister Becca is young and beautiful. She holds a rosary. Henry, a student at St. Vincent de Paul, looks left, a noticeable shudder when he sees Sister James, who glares. He then looks right and sees Sister Becca. She offers a sweet smile Henry, embarrassed, turns to address the audience.
You know, I'd never heard of confession outside of cops busting a perp on television. Then my folks put me in a Catholic school, and primetime drama became a reality. I became the perp. As a 12-year-old, I'm thinking, if Catholics gotta confess, they gotta be guilty of some pretty heinous stuff. My best guess is robbery, murder, piracy. Can't see why anyone would care about small-time stuff like swearing and fighting. Those sins are like, we're preteens. Without them, we're subversives, whatever they are. But when Sister Becca told us this morning after Mass we were gonna go to confession, my pits began to sweat, and now I understand why my mom says we're antiperspirant.
Sister James and Sister Becca step forward.
Don't worry, children. Salvation awaits all those who follow the good word. Share your heart, share your soul, and forgiveness will be everlasting.
Or else! Anyhow, I've never been to confession because, well, I'm Episcopalian. You know, a Protestant. We beat the British at Yorktown, so we got a lifetime pass. Yeah, he says so in the Bible. Besides, what do I have to confess? I haven't robbed or murdered or committed crimes of the high seas. Though I do dream of becoming a French privateer.
Sister James gives Henry a threatening stare, tightening her grip on the baton. Henry backs up and almost bumps into Sister Becca.
Henry, my dear, be ever so careful.
Clearly smitten, Henry offers a bashful smile.
So there you have it. We're done with Mass, and the nuns have been putting kids in the back of the pews while the rest of us wait outside. The kids in the pews, I caught a glimpse on the way out. They looked scared stiff, fiddling with their rosary beads like they were facing a firing squad.
Student 1 and Student 2 step forward. Student 1 repeatedly makes the sign of the cross. Sister James offers a nod of approval. Student 2 chews a piece of gum, spits it out when Sister Becca reaches out her hand. Sister Becca winks and pops the gum into her own mouth.
They must be involved in espionage or animal testing.
Sister James roughly takes the arm of Student 1 and walks them upstage. Sister Becca gently places her hand on the shoulder of Student 2 and guides them upstage.
I'm told whatever is said in confessional stays in confessional, but that's gotta be bullpucks. If a priest hears something really good, like, he's gonna burst if he doesn't tell someone, right? They're human. Kinda, I think. Besides, I'm hearing really good kids are in the confessional for like 10 whole minutes. 10 whole minutes! So I asked my buddy Joel.
Henry's best friends, Carla and Joel, step forward.
You have to confess everything. So whatever Father Patrick says you did, you did. If you don't, you'll die and go to hell. Or Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Ever been?
You guys only confess the big stuff like murder. Father Patrick doesn't care about the dumb stuff.
Hey buddy, we're in middle school. What do you think they're talking about in there? You think Penny robs banks? She cleans chalkboards. And Sonny, he cooks with his mom. And you know what that makes him?
Oh, come on. What do you think I'm gonna say? It's 1972. Say that again.
And you know what that makes him?
Mama's boy.
Yup.
What is wrong with you people?
Listening in on the conversation is Carla, the only Jewish kid in the school. Carla is reading Dante's Inferno.
Just tell the priest how many times you swore, how many times you teased your brother, roughhouse with the dog. He'll have you say Hail Mary and Our Father a bunch of times. No big deal.
No big deal? As a non-Catholic, I'm told I'm a heretic. So according to the dictionary, I'm a walking sin. And as a 12-year-old, I'm looking for reasons to swear. So I'll have to pull a number out of my butt.
Hey, long swears aren't any worse than the short ones, okay? So the standard is pretty clear. But for kids who keep at it, You know, the future stand-up comedians. My dad says they're gonna lead a lonely life of game shows and cats.
Cats? Ew.
Yeah, in Appalachia.
Whatever, okay. Say I've said 150 swear words in the past month. Is that average or eternal damnation?
150 times is a lot, but you're Catholic, so you're probably going to catch a break because of your upbringing.
My upbringing? What the hell?
Oh, you're going to have to confess to that one.
Dang it. What's wrong with my upbringing? Besides, you're Jewish, about as non-Catholic as you get.
Yes, but we're the chosen people, so good luck.
Shit.
You're gonna have to confess to that one too. Or risk your heavenly soul to the 9 circles of hell.
Hey, what? 9 circles? I thought the book of yours was about firefighters. Anyhow, back off on the encouragement, I get it. So how many do you guys have to confess?
Well, I'm going on 2 days, and my sister's back from college. She's Princess Pain in the ass. So the penance worth it.
I don't swear ever, but yesterday I called my sister a dummy, so I'm gonna have to confess to ensure my everlasting place in heaven, even if it's the wrong heaven.
They are no damn help. And I can already hear Carla say,
You'll have to confess to that one too.
Sister Jane shushes the threesome. Joel makes a
Hey, if you tell the priest, if you have to tell the priest, if you touch something, you know that, right?
you're kidding me. I mean, I touch myself every time I take a whiz.
No, not that kind of touching. Those are freebies. So as long as you don't shake them more than 3 times.
If I go with a 4th.
Hell, you nasty perv.
I'm not a perv. Sometimes I need a 4th to prevent leakage.
Well, if you have to go a 4th, don't bring it up. But if you're gonna go a 5th, you're socialist.
Carla, reading a book, grimaces as the conversation continues.
And you'll have to move to California.
Who says?
The legislature.
The what?
I think it's like a front for like runaway Nazis or something.
For Christ's sakes, what else could I have been in trouble for?
Staring at boobs. Man, they're looking at bare legs. Yeah, I see the way you gawk as if they're like.
Hey, I don't gawk.
Carla and Joel together shrug and, oh yeah, shrug.
Okay, don't tell me. Perv, socialist.
Out of work actor.
They really want to know about them boobs, and who am I kidding? So do I.
Carla closes her book and pulls on her shirt, assesses her womanly development, has a frustrated look.
You're an asshole.
I've been told.
That one too. Or endure an eternity of loathsome maggots and worms.
Code Black said, don't bring it up about the whole touching thing. It's pretty common in our age. But if you're still doing it in high school, you're a radical liberal.
You're kidding.
Adios, Florida.
Some of the physically advanced kids, those growing facial hair or oops, are walking out in tears. I'm thinking they brought up the touching.
Know your Hail Mary. Always impress, despite your upbringing.
Now here's the thing about the Hail Mary. A bear and a half to get out of your head. You think that tune from What About Paris is tough to dodge? Before algebra, it's not a bad thing. When you're staring at boobs, trying to figure out why girls are catching your attention.
Henry catches a glance of Sister Becca out of the corner of his eye, shyly waves to her. She returns a smile.
You've got the mother of Jesus in your head. Talk about pressure.
Next up is Black Two Sugars by Chet Hall.
A city street, early morning. Across the street of an urban bodega storefront with a lone figure, Ed, sitting on the sidewalk to the left of the storefront. He is unkempt, wearing sunglasses with a sightless person's white cane leaning against the wall behind him. There is a metal coffee can with no label on the sidewalk next to him. He is plucking an out-of-tune ukulele. We hear and see an occasional donation tossed into the can by a passerby.
Oh, 35 cents? Gee, now the kids can go to college. Thanks, mister.
Another man passes and tosses coins in the can.
Wait. Is that Jeff Bezos? Am I in the presence of financial greatness? Christ, doesn't anybody carry any folding money anymore?
Inside the bodega, we see a young woman, Beth, and a young man, Frank, standing at the counter. Beth pays for 2 coffees. Frank buys a coffee.
Christine said the HR guys were in her office yesterday. Now Ernie's gone. She said every department is losing people.
Oh, and a quick pick for the Powerball, please.
Ernie's wife got laid off 3 months ago. I don't know what he's going to do. You know, you're wasting your money buying that, right?
Can't win if you don't play. Somebody's got to win it. Might as well be me.
Funny, I always pictured you with a more prudent retirement strategy.
Beth and Frank walk to the door to go out.
Is that you, princess? Well, I'd know that perfume anywhere.
Got you some coffee, Ed. Black 2 sugars, right?
Right. Oh, you're an angel, you are. You are. Hey, why don't we stop fighting this sexual tension between us and run off somewhere, just you and I? And let that loser boyfriend of yours and just take off.
I am right here, Ed.
Oh,
right here.
Hey, Frank, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Oh, it would never work, Ed. I'm afraid you're just too much of a man for me.
Yes, there is that, I suppose.
A passerby throws some change in the coffee can.
Oh, holy crap, somebody call Fortune magazine. I think this is going to put me in the 500.
Have you ever tried being nice?
I did try. I tried it for a whole week, and it had no impact on the revenue flow. People thought I lost my mind. Besides, this is much more entertaining.
A passerby tosses a balled up lottery ticket into the coffee can.
Damn it, Jonesy, quit throwing your garbage in there.
Ed takes the ticket from the can, smooths it out on his leg, runs his fingers over it before tossing inside.
Unlucky bastard.
Ed plucks the clearly out of tune ukulele.
You really play that thing?
What are you, a cop?
It only has 3 strings.
Well, Sherlock, if you must know, the powers that be decided that panhandlers were scaring away business downtown. But street performers, they were less scary. So now, I'm just playing the hits.
You are the problem solver, Ed.
Another passerby tosses coins in the can.
Can you believe it? Some people think 28 cents qualifies as a charitable contribution.
How did you know how much that was?
I can tell you what the coin is just by the sound it makes hitting the can. Go ahead, throw a coin in.
Frank digs in his pocket and pulls out a coin. From the change in his hand, he tosses it in the can.
Really, Frank? Really? A penny? Sure you're not overextending yourself? I'm no expert, princess, but I'm seeing relationship red flags here, okay?
Beth smiles and puts a $10 bill in the coffee can.
We gotta get to work. We gotta get to work, Ed. You take care of yourself, okay? It's supposed to get cold tonight.
You know, Knowing you care just warms my heart. Hey, Frank, you need that piggyback?
Keep it, Ed.
You know what? You're a saint. That man is a saint right there. Praise God, my troubles are over. Hey.
Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're nothing that I could never do, and you're the wind beneath my wings.
City Street moments later.
Guy's kind of an asshole.
He's blind, Frank.
Doesn't mean he can't be an asshole.
You're just mad because he proposed to me first.
That wasn't a proposal. That was more of a proposition. I tell you what, if we win the lotto, we quit our jobs and get married.
Hey, let's pump the brakes a little.
Beth puts her arm around a moping Frank's neck and kisses his cheek. She takes the ticket and draws a small heart in the corner.
I'll tell you what. If you win the lottery and give the ticket to Ed, I'll marry you.
Are you crazy?
Can't win if you don't play.
Frank's apartment, night of the lottery drawing. We see Frank sitting on a couch watching the 11 o'clock news. He's eating from a bag of Funyuns with an open bottle of beer on the coffee table. The lottery ticket is also on the coffee table.
One lucky person from right here in the city is holding the winning ticket for tonight's lottery drawing. The winning numbers are 3, 14, 23, 27, and 44, and the Powerball 5.
Frank is writing down the numbers. As he compares them with his ticket, he realizes that he has the winning ticket. After his exuberance and excitement, he picks up his phone and calls Beth's number.
Hey, coming back right away! You are not going to believe this! We won! I'm not kidding. Coming back!
Frank puts the phone on the coffee table and goes to a closet to get the jacket. The news is still on.
In other news tonight, police are investigating the murder of a young woman who was killed outside the West Side Gracefield Apartments on 84th Street. The identity of the woman is being withheld pending notification of next of kin.
Frank walks slowly back toward the TV as the anchor reads the report. He quickly picks up his phone and calls Beth's number. Your call is being transferred to voicemail. Beep.
Beth, call me back right now! I need you to call me back. Please! Just call me back!
Frank's apartment, several weeks later. Frank is sitting on the couch, staring out the window. The lottery ticket sitting on the coffee table. He goes from looking out the window to looking at the ticket to back out the window. Bodega storefront, 2 days later. And is in his usual spot, a passerby drops change in his coffee can.
I knew it. A higher tax bracket. More money, more problems. Thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Ed.
Hey, where's the person? Oh, she dumped you, huh? Hey, sorry, man, but I mean, you must have seen it coming, right?
She didn't dump me. We need to talk.
Look, if you're here to tell me that you're stepping aside because you think she's got a thing for me, then you're more of an idiot than I was giving you credit for. Oh, I know. Wait a minute. You're here to kick my ass. Yeah? Well, get mine.
Just shut up, Ed. She's dead.
What did you say?
Beth's dead. Someone killed her outside of her apartment.
Ed sits quiet for a moment, stone-faced, then begins to pluck the ukulele.
Yeah? Well, life sucks that way, don't it? Hey, we all end up dead eventually, right? Am I right? Life goes on and then it does.
Look, I just came by because I thought you'd want to know. But I guess you really don't care about any anyone but yourself, do you? I can't believe I'm wasting my time with you. I came down here thinking I was doing something nice. You know what she wanted me to do? She said, if I give you this ticket, she'd marry me. This winning lottery ticket. What an idiot I would have been to hand this over to you.
Really, Frank? You came all the way down here with some bullshit story about a lottery ticket to what? To hurt me in some way? I have to say, Frank, I'm kind of surprised. You know, you're just a sad little guy, ain't you?
Frank shoves the ticket in Ed's hand. Ed smooths it out on his leg and runs his fingers over it, pausing on the heart drawing in the corner. Frank snatches the ticket back from Ed.
No bullshit, douchebag. That right there is a winner, and that's the closest you're going to get to it.
You know what, Frank? Why don't you take your ticket and this little guilt trip you've been so nice to bring down here and just go away, okay? Seems like you're having trouble feeling better about yourself. Is that it, Frank? Is that it? Now that the princess is gone, you're realizing now that nobody likes you, not even you. You're beating yourself up wondering, oh, if only I'd been there. If only we had moved in together. If only. What? Were you looking for someone to hold your hand or give you a hug to get you through this, Frank? Sorry, I'm not that guy.
You know what, dickhead? I'm done listening to you. You're an asshole. You didn't deserve the attention she gave you. She thought you were special. Especially how you were dealing with that, being blind and all. There's nothing special about you. Nothing. You never deserved one moment of her time.
Are we done here, Frank? You about finished spreading your special brand of sunshine? Or should I just throw myself into traffic now?
Go fuck yourself, man.
Oh, back at you, Padre. And good seeing you, too. Vaya con Dios. And remember, stay away from those altar boys.
Frank storms off. As he approaches the street corner, he pulls a ticket from his shirt pocket. We see his thumb run over the numbers, then up to the corner on the heart Beth drew, covering it up. Without looking, Frank steps off the curb. Quick zoom into the windshield of a shocked postman driving the van, both hands tightly gripping the steering wheel, trying to stop. Later that morning, street level, close up to the ticket in the gutter. A slight breeze causes the ticket to rock gently. A shadow covers the ticket, and we see a hand pick up the ticket. A sullen and quiet Ed gently plucks the ukulele. Several passersby drop change in the coffee can, but Ed says nothing. Another passerby walks quickly past, dropping the balled-up ticket in the coffee can.
God damn it, Jonesy. You're starting to really piss me off.
Ed takes the balled-up ticket out of the can, smooths it on his leg, runs his fingers over the ticket, pausing on the edge where the heart is drawn, before folding it and putting it in his pocket.
The lucky bastard.
Now for our next story, First Rights by Tony Taylor.
little girl lays on the ground, bleeding and hurt. A mangled bicycle lays a few feet from her. 2 paramedics hover over her, assessing her wounds and condition. The 40-ish paramedic, Malcolm Springer, and the 20-ish female paramedic, Jessie Weiss, examines her, but they're not touching the twisted body. The crowd is starting to gather. 2 police officers hold them at a distance. We notice a young priest is in the crowd.
What do you think?
I don't know, it's bad. We can't stop the bleeding.
The little girl moans. The bleeding is starting to get worse. Malcolm notices her bloody right hand is clutching some kind of necklace. He sees that it is a crucifix pendant. The little girl's mouth begins to move, producing the sound of a whisper. Malcolm leans in to try and hear what she is saying.
Last rights. Last rights. Last rights.
What's she saying?
Last rites? She's saying last rites. It's Catholic. Yeah, I'm not a priest.
Jessie looks around, scanning the crowd. Jessie sees the young priest.
There is a God. There's a priest in the crowd.
As the little girl continues to whisper, Malcolm looks behind his back and spots the priest in the crowd.
Father. Father.
The young priest seems unfazed by Malcolm's yelling for him. Malcolm stands up.
Father, we need you over here.
Slowly at first, the young priest begins to move through the crowd.
Father, we need you now.
Police officer steps aside.
You need to hurry, Father.
The young priest rushes over to the scene. The twisted and bloody form of the little girl shocks him. Malcolm stoops back down beside Jessie and the little girl.
Father, down here.
The young priest hesitantly kneels next to Malcolm and Jessie.
She keeps saying over and over about last rites. I'm not religious, but I think that's Catholic. I don't know. Listen, she doesn't have much time, You've got to do it now.
The little girl opens her eyes for the first time. Jessie wipes the blood away from her left eye. The little girl sees the young priest. Blood drips out of her mouth as what looks like an attempt to smile. She twists the crucifix pendant faster between her bloody fingers.
Last rights. Last rights.
His hand's shaking. The young priest pulls out a Bible and opens it.
For God loved the world that he gave his son so not all would perish, but live forever. You will live forever with God in eternal peace tonight. Tonight, all your sins and trespasses are forgiven.
The young priest makes the sign of the cross over her body. The little girl smiles through bloody teeth, and her head turns to the side. She fades away. Malcolm immediately leans in to try and resuscitate her. The little girl is unresponsive.
We've lost her.
God. I hope we find that guy. This was a hit and run, Father.
The young priest stares down at the lifeless little girl.
Hey, get the gurney out, will you?
Jessie exits.
Father. Hey,
The young priest doesn't hear Malcolm.
Father, like I said, I'm not a religious person, but something got you here tonight, and I'm grateful to whatever. She left in peace, So, thank you for that. But this was your first time seeing anything like this, right? You've never given first rites to anyone before, right?
Yes, I was actually on my way to a party and I saw the lights and I felt like I needed to go.
Well, thank God, literally, right? I know this was tough, but thank you, Father.
Malcolm extends his hand. Jessie shows up with the gurney.
I think I should go.
The young priest turns and walks away. Exterior street, night. The young priest continues walking. His mind is somewhere else. Exterior, outside apartment building, night.
You see the young priest approach the front door of the building. He speaks into the building's intercom and goes inside. Interior, apartment building 9th. The young priest pushes the button for the elevator. His finger leaves traces of blood on the button. He wipes the blood away. The elevator door is open, he enters inside. The door is shut. Interior elevator, 19. Inside the elevator, we can see the young priest is still shaken by the prior incident. The young priest looks down at the Bible he is holding in his hand. There are traces of the little girl's blood on top of the pages. He tries to wipe the blood away. The door is open. Interior hallway, 9th. The young priest steps into the hallway. Though muffled, music permeates the area. The young priest walks down the hallway. Continuing to walk a few feet, the young priest stops at a door. He tries the doorknob and opens the door. Interior apartment, 9th. We realize that a party is going on. Young people are dressed in different costumes. A flickering carved pumpkin sits on a counter. Stepping inside, the young priest nearly collides with a Cape Crusader on his way to the kitchen. In the kitchen, the young priest mixes himself a drink from a table with bottles, plastic cups, and a bucket of ice scattered on its top. The young priest slams down the drink. A 20-ish young woman, Annie, recognizes the young priest and rushes towards him, giving him a hug and a kiss. She is dressed up in a sexy witch costume.
My, aren't we up here? No wonder you didn't tell me what you were wearing. Happy Halloween, Father. Wait, did you steal that from an actual priest? Peter, God is gonna get you for this.
Peter says nothing. He puts his arms around Annie and pulls her closer to him, laying his head on her shoulder. Fade out.
Next is Pieces of Me by Olivia George.
Interior Zombie Grub Diner Day. The Zombie Grub Diner is just like any average run-of-the-mill diner. Vintage 50s music playing in the background. The waitress walking, or more like slumping around, catering to the customers. One of the customers grunts and gets the waitress's attention. She turns quickly, and as she does, an eyeball pops out of her socket. Clearly, she is a zombie, as are her patrons. Wearing a tattered dress and a torn apron covered in blood and dirt, the waitress stumbles over to the table to take her zombie customer's order. Sitting at another table is zombie Katie. The only way we know her name is the store name tag on her polo. She's also slumped over, missing both of her eyes, some of her skin, and a deflated cranium where her brain should be. In walks Zombie Frank. He too is missing eyes, but everything else is still intact. Zombie Frank limps over to the table where Zombie Katie sits. Zombie Katie sits up and sniffs her nose, recognizing Frank's scent. She opens her mouth, and no tongue is inside.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
How was
Zombie Frank slumps into the seat opposite Zombie Katie.
Oh.
They sit in awkward silence for a bit.
So, first day. I we need to break up. I don't love you. What? Sorry, here's hard.
Without warning, Zombie Frank reached into his chest and pulls out a still beating heart. He then reaches over and pulls a heart out of Zombie Katie and shoves it into his own chest.
Not you, it me.
Zombie Frank then gets up and stumbles out of the diner, leaving Zombie Katie alone. She touches the hole in her chest where Frank's heart used to be. She then sniffs around and locates her heart where Frank left it on the diner table. Tears start to pour out of her eye sockets as she reaches forward and licks her heart. She bares her teeth and reaches forward as if to eat her own heart. The zombie waitress stumbles over to the table. No! Lower it! Put it back! Zombie Katie considers her options before finally deciding, what the hell. She then places the heart back in the hole in her chest. To her surprise, the hole in her chest closes up, but more tears pour out of her eye sockets. Zombie waitress stumbles away, and Zombie Katie puts her head in her hands, unsure of what to do. Exterior science exhibit. Zombie Katie stumbles up to the science exhibit at the local museum. Inside the exhibit are different displays about the human body. Zombie Katie enters and sniffs around the different displays. In one display is a brain. Zombie Katie reaches into a display and picks the brain up. A zombie scientist stumbles up to her. To prove her point, Zombie Katie puts the brain in her cranium, and it fits like a glove. Her cranium is now in normal size.
Oh! Wait!
zombie children using tongues as paintbrushes. Zombie Katie enters and starts walking normally up to the zombie painter. She accidentally bumps into a few things.
I want all that.
Zombie Katie gives up trying to say it because she needs her tongue to say her name and shows her name tag. Zombie painter nods.
Okay.
The painter tracks down a paintbrush that a zombie child is using and, after washing it, gives it back to Zombie Katie, who places the tongue back in her mouth. She swishes her mouth around a bit.
Thank you.
$5. One.
Zombie Katie can't roll her eyes, but she mimics doing it as she reaches into her pocket. Exterior beach. Zombie Katie is stumbling around, getting sand in her eye sockets as she keeps tripping and falling. She uses her nose to sniff around before finally finding the spot. She digs and digs through the sand until she recovers bits of her skin from underneath. She mutters to herself.
What did I do wrong? Why am I not good enough? We were going to put ourselves back together. I feel worse with every new body part.
She brushes the skin off to the best of her abilities before reapplying her skin. Tears fall from her eye sockets again.
I gave him my heart, and he gave me his. No zombie should be so wasteful with other people's body parts. And what a stupid excuse! Not you, it's me. How stupid does he think I am? Who does he think he is?
The skin has healed itself and Zombie Katie stands up.
Putting myself together like this by myself feels wrong. Am I talking normal?
Excited, Katie starts dancing around before the sand trips her and she falls.
Okay. Maybe this will work after all.
Interior zombie grub diner, night. Katie stumbles back into the diner and sits back at the same table. Zombie waitress stumbles over and notices Katie.
It's working! Yeah, but taking back all my bits just feels wrong. Why? Well, isn't a relationship supposed to be where you equally give and take? And I'm taking back all my bits, but I have no idea if Frank is getting his bits back. It doesn't seem fair.
No fair. My ex no give my heart.
What? Why?
He ate it.
I'm so sorry. That's awful.
Lucky. That why I stopped you.
Yeah, but why would I put myself through that my next relationship and risk that happening?
If it want, it could keep it safe.
I just can't see how anyone would do that if Frank wouldn't do that for me.
Love no give and take. Love stand and get.
And if that doesn't work?
Love give yourself.
Zombie Katie wipes away the tears from her eye sockets. Our first date was here in the diner. We went to the beach. We painted together with our tongues. We donated our brains at the science center. I wouldn't have done all of that if I knew he was just going to rip his heart right on my chest. And where we met, and where we had our first date too.
I sorry, no fair.
He had me give up my eyes here too. Do you still have them?
Let me check.
Zombie waitress stumbles back to the kitchen. Suddenly, zombie Frank enters with zombie rich woman. He notices zombie Katie and says nothing as they stumble to a different table and he sits down. Zombie rich woman stays standing.
Hey, my go.
Zombie Frank quickly stands and gently shrugs the fur coat off of her shoulders. He then pulls out a chair for her and then sits down opposite her once she is fully seated.
What you want?
Zombie Katie perks up at hearing Zombie Frank's voice.
Your heart.
Zombie Frank shifts uncomfortably in his seat.
Only first day.
No, serious.
Zombie Katie, hearing this conversation, debates whether she should say something or not. Zombie waitress stumbles back with a tray of Katie's eyes. She sets the tray down in front of Zombie Katie. Zombie Katie feels around and finds both eyeballs. She then hesitates.
Don't get yourself.
Zombie Katie nods and finally places her eyes back in her eye sockets. She blinks multiple times as her eyes adjust themselves. Finally, she opens her eyes and the transformation is complete. She is Katie again.
Wow. Wow.
Katie starts to quickly raise her arms, but she accidentally smacks the table.
Ow! Forgot depth perception.
How you feel?
I feel alive again. I never thought that was possible.
Katie stands and hugs Zombie Waitress.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I would never have done this without you.
Happy out.
I hope you could at least get a replacement heart, though.
I show him to the grave. I'll get dessert for you. My plea.
Zombie Waitress stumbles away. Katie gives herself a once-over. Zombie Rich Woman stands up.
Okay.
Zombie Rich Woman bumps into Katie as she stumbles back to the bathroom. Zombie Frank looks over and sees Katie alive and well.
Hi, Katie.
Frank, have you gotten any of your body parts back yet?
Get to it soon.
Yeah, right.
What?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. Sounds like you're pretty committed to someone else already. That was a quick turnaround.
It first day.
You're kidding. You're seriously taking someone to the same place that we had our first date? Wow. That's just pathetic.
Hey, voice down.
Yeah, I bet you wish I didn't get my tongue back, you ungrateful jerk.
I ungrateful. Who helped you move?
If I remember correctly, the only reason that you would help me move was because your insecure butt didn't want me to ask my neighbor for help. But I suppose with your new meal ticket, you don't have to worry about nosy neighbors. Though I am surprised with a fur coat like that, she actually wants to eat at a place like this.
But knowing how cheap you are, I'm not really that surprised. Zombie rich woman comes back and overhears this conversation. She stands where Katie can't see her, but Zombie Frank can. What are you gonna do? Rip my heart out of my chest again? Offer up on the first date like it means nothing?
I said, shut up!
Yeah. Just don't come calling back to me when she inevitably gets bored of your lazy, no-get, cheap butt. With that, Katie sits back down and the zombie waitress delivers an ice cream sundae to Katie, who happily starts chowing down. Zombie rich woman comes back to the table.
Sarah, I explain.
Zombie rich woman says nothing as she picks up her bloody fur coat and starts leaving the diner. Oh, my Uber! She leaves and Zombie Frank stands and trips over himself going after her. Katie enjoys another bite of her sundae, content with herself. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for our showcase.
All right.
May I ask all of them on stage? So part of the reason why we do this is so writers can see their work before, after they write it. There's a long journey before it gets filmed. So this is kind of to give them that workshop feeling of getting in front of an audience, getting actors to perform it and can see what works, what doesn't, what's funny, what's not, what lines need to be changed. So yeah, kind of all our writers. So this is gonna be our Q&A component of the night. So if I could just have each person just come up and just say what you wrote, so your name and which piece you wrote.
Don't everybody move at once. I'll step up first. Hi, everybody. My name is Doc Anthony Bravo, and I wrote a Picture of Lemon.
Yeah, so we'll everyone just introduce themselves right now. So one, okay, yeah.
Hi, my name is Olivia Drake, and I wrote Pieces of Me.
Hi, I'm Sarah Zavala, and I wrote Gin and Tonic.
Hi, I'm Andrea Howells, and I wrote Sushi.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Coe, and I wrote The First Stab.
My name is Tony Taylor, and I wrote First Rights.
Hi, I'm not Chef Paul, and he wrote Black and Two Sugars. I am Jeff, and I wrote Confession.
Hey, I'm Hahnert, and I wrote Extraordinary.
So I'm going to ask a few questions for our writers, and then I'll open it up for the rest of the floor. So the first question is, what inspired you to write your story?
You go first.
Sure, I'll step up and do it again. My love of baseball is what inspired me to write this script. It was given to me as a challenge, which was like an hour challenge. They're like, listen, you have this lemon, write 9 pages. And I'm like, I thought you had a challenge for me. Boom, lemon. And obviously, if you know baseball, there's a pitcher named Roger Clemens. And he played for one of my favorite teams, which is the New York Yankees. So I thought to myself, lemon, Roger Lemons, oh yeah. And that's how I built off of that.
So this was somewhat inspired by real life, not the zombie part, surprisingly. My ex broke up with me in the same place where we had our first date. Yeah, it was not fun. We were right in front of the giant Ferris wheel. Anyway, kind of what led up to the whole idea with the zombies was just like, I was just sitting at home, depressed, eating ice cream as you do, and I was like, man, I have to really put myself back together. Oh, wait a minute. And so that's kind of how it developed from there.
Gin and Tonic mind really came from a combination of watching Practical Magic way too many times, and kind of a weird relationship with my sister, which is a lot better now. But I just kind of imagined, what if we weren't super close at 60, and what would that look like if we like reconnected? And that's how Gin and Tonic was born.
So for First Stab, it was a little bit of based on real life. Thankfully, not the killer part. So I'm a very heavy sleeper when I, have a long day. I knock out. Sometimes, my boyfriend and I will play video games together, or like watch him stream as I fall asleep. And he very kindly will make sure that I try to wake up so I can put my laptop and play, blah, blah, blah. Well, one time I fell asleep, and no matter what sound effects he was playing on the soundboard, no matter how many times he called me or played heavy metal music over the sound, I was dead to the world. And he teased me about it the next day, and I was like, well, that's not good. What if a fire alarm goes off, or what if somebody breaks in, and then there's a story there. So that's where I
Actually, my script's based on a short story by a gentleman named Dana Todd. What really attracted me to the story was the twist ending, because I'm a big Twilight Zone fan. And I love an ending that makes you sit upright. And I thought that the ending for First Rights was one of those stories where you have a character, you follow a character, you have an impression of the character, and then that just completely changes in the last few minutes of the play. So that was my inspiration.
Yeah, so I wanted to do sort of like a love story kind of thing, and people in my age group, like I'm early 30s, I have a lot of friends who are kind of having infertility problems right now, and so I wanted to do something that could incorporate that like our ages and everything, and also, sort of like a hope thing at the end of it.
Cool.
So for Extraordinary, really like superhero movies. I guess my background, I'm a runner. A lot of people here know me as a runner, but also been really dedicated to studying and programming. My brother helped me, things like that. So really wanted to incorporate those superheroes and I guess discipline in general to like a passion or hobby that you have, whatever that may be. That could be acting, could be writing, anything like that. So I just wanted to touch on like the superhuman people out there that they don't have superpowers, but they do if you put 1,000 hours into one particular topic or area. So that was the goal.
Confession is based on my unpublished autobiography. That was the experience I had my first day. I walked into Mass and they told me I did a confession, and I go, "What the hell?" And the real Carla did say that. So, by the way, Sister James is immortal. That's really Sister James back there.
So the next question is, throughout this process, like what was it like? Did you learn anything? Like just kind of a little bit of an insight that you came across while working through this process of rehearsing?
I learned a lot. So mine was more based as a stage play. Like we would have a huge stage, we had multiple spaces for it. Learning sort of the difference when you're writing, the difference between a stage play and a screenplay is, you think they're very similar, but they're not. So stage, you're like, oh, it's on stage, it's fine. But screenplay is more action, there's more movement, like it's less describing what they're doing. So it was a lot of trying to reassess turning from stage to screen. And it took a lot. Our director was fantastic in helping us sort of break it.
Well, even at the workshopping stage, it definitely changed a lot. Like the incredible Freya Hunt, who was our 911 operator, I was just waiting between takes, working on the first draft and running the idea by her, and thankfully she loved it. And she was like, well, it'd be really funny if at one point you just see this little broom handle just come right in a frame and then So even that, like that collaborative process, like from the beginning was just so helpful. And then through tapes, through workshopping it, just getting to see different interpretations of the characters was so helpful and helped me as I tweak things a little bit further and prepared it for other people to say, because I would read it aloud in my room or just like running through it and be like, okay, this is how it sounds, but this is in my voice. So then getting to hear fabulous Brian, who's our killer, reading the role, did an amazing job. And brought the physicality that it to life. It was just so cool and a little bit eerie in a way. It was a lot of fun.
So yeah, like I said, it was a challenge, and I grew up on baseball films such as Sandlot, Field of Dreams, Angels in the Outfield, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't want to make like a comedy, family, fun type of film. And, I just took my love of writing, my love of baseball, just threw it up on the page with some characters that were kind of wacky. And and even though she's a pain in my butt sometimes, that's one of my inspirations right there. Her and her sister, I wanted to create something that I can put on for them, and you'd be like, I want to watch more baseball now. And that's all.
One of the things that we encourage with the writers is use this stage to try out your work, see what it sounds like, see what it looks like, and then go back and rewrite and do whatever you want, decide what you want your next step is. Confession, this is the third iteration of it. The first time I did it 8 years ago was a one-man show. Then Doc and Kimberly helped me stage this at Breakthrough Theater a couple of years ago. And then we added nuns. And Scarlett gave me some editing tips. Thank you very much, sweetheart. So this is just the third time. We've got a couple of more planned, but I'll let you know.
So Gin and Tonic originally started as a Zoom kind of like thing back in 2020. And this is the first time I got to see it on stage though, and that's incredible. And now kind of be reworking it again for sure. But it's one of those things that made me go, I really want to expand this. I think is what I learned through this process. And so that's what this workshopping helped me see.
Yeah, so this was the first iteration of Extraordinary, one of my first scripts. So, yeah. It was very much a collaborative process. I got a lot of help. There's a lot of learning. Kim helped me out tremendously. I'm glad you were directing and not me. Got a lot of iterative feedback from David early on too. But yeah, probably the biggest thing is writing is rewriting. Every piece of every word on your script needs to earn its place there. Right? So, and the actors did a great job, by the way. I'm glad I didn't have to.
Really, just stories are great and writing is great. And to be able to have a forum to see your work done live is raising the bar to another level. And it really makes you appreciate what you've done, but it also makes you think, and it also makes you want to do better. And I'm just thankful to have had this forum tonight, and thankful to have been able to share my story with each and every one of you. So thank you.
I was just like, oh, wait, it's good. Okay. I just wanted to say real quick, any insight into this process was that I'm very much the kind of person where I'm like, no, there's no way that this could realistically make sense. How the heck can zombies live in a society like this? Like, I think probably the biggest thing for me to learn was just to have fun with it and maybe not take it as serious as to create a more ultra realistic script for people to enjoy. You know, have fun with it. Why not?
And we have a few minutes left, so I'll open it up to the floor. So if anyone has any questions for specific, all right, I see a hand in the back there. Yes.
I just want to say I really enjoyed like this whole process, for lack of a better word. But I was just wondering, as far as like, I feel like a lot of these have potential to turn into like, if not feature-length, which I think almost all of them could be, but at least like longer iterations with like, I can see so many characters having subplots. I don't know, like, do any of you like have like that idea of like expanding it, or do you want to keep it a short film, or is it kind of like however it goes?
So this is a little bit of a fun world for me to play with. I love like campy, classic horror icons. So the idea that I have right now would be to not necessarily expand this script, maybe add a little bit of depth to it, but to make it a bit of a series of shorts where this girl keeps running into different people who want to kill her for various reasons. And she's one of the few people who just wants to live her 9 to 5, get married to her fiance, live with her cat, and that's all she wants in her life. Damn it, please leave me alone. And it's some of it like mistaken identity, blah, 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 various papers. And then one of the later on killers gets a note and is summoned to this place and is like, Killers Anonymous. So there's this shadowy figure, like hooded, robed, all of that, and all the previous killers, except the first one, of course, are gathered there. And they're like, we can't kill this bitch. We have tried so many times, and we just can't. But between all of us, we must have at least 3 brain cells. So let's get together and let's all attack her at once. Surely one of us is going to be able to pull this off. So they arrive at her house, and she's home alone with the shit out of the place. So she's ready, left, right, center, knock them down, lock them up. They're all done. Sirens, FBI, SWAT, like it's a whole big arrest thing. And the shadowy figure appears, takes off the robe, and it's her neighbor, the ex-Marine, who has some connections in Spec Ops. So he's like, you know, you keep getting attacked. Why don't I just get them all together, catch them in the act, and then we can arrest these motherfuckers. So then she's like, I can live my life. I can finally set a wedding date, and thankfully everything's going to go back to normal. And this is why the ending was left slightly vague. I didn't want you to see the killer's body, because if we are so fortunate as to make a full series, she's going to run into the first killer again, who's turned his life around. He's like, you know what, thank you so much. By you stopping me from killing you, I got my life together. Thank you so much, I appreciate you. She's like, no problem, you know, it's all good in the end, really. And as they part, you know, a happy ending, I have quite this idea that something happens, and he brings out the knife. He's like, all right, let's go, round 2. And then that would be the end of the series. So hopefully one day I can make the whole thing.
And in Dream World, Gin and Tonic would be like a TV show on the Hallmark Channel, honestly. We rebuild the practical magic house because it's not real, and then it would just be the hijinks of like these 2 sisters with their interns running a B&B and the things that happen in a cozy town. Like that's my dream for Gin and Tonic.
We've got penance. We got confirmation. Being an altar boy. Lots of stories.
I would think that, yeah, I mean, I would love to expand on the world of like how this zombie society functions, where like the idea of giving each other your heart, your literal heart, is the equivalent of having engagement rings and just building off of that. And like, oh, well, if you have a bad breakup and your ex eats your heart, you'll never be whole again. So just continuing to build on that and just to have fun with it and see where it goes.
I would definitely love to make an extended version of that. See them overcome obstacles and finally get to that championship game, and we kind of get like the foreshadowing of Bucky going, yeah, I'll be there. And then we find out he didn't show up because he didn't believe in the team the whole time. Yeah. Oh, he wasn't.
We are at time, so thank you so much, Bynx. 2 things before you go. don't forget, in the QR code, and if you don't have a program, there are some up at the front still. There is a QR code. Please scan this and vote for your top 3, which is your 3 favorite that you would love to get turned into a film. Like, you just let us know what your favorites are, and we'll announce the winners on social media tomorrow. So, and then one last QR code. So we are sponsored through Fractured Atlas. So so any donations are tax deductible, and as it's the end of the year, if you're looking for something to get in before the end of the year to write off, please consider us. A QR code will take directly to our donation link as well. So, but thank you all so much for coming. This has been amazing. You're off next month because of the holidays, but we'll be back in January for Or Diet Trying. So that's going to be on January 27th. So.
3 hours.